Welcome to the Winning Podcast, where we talk about all things winning from real estate to business. And today's guest is Miss Vicky. How are you?
Hi, Tony.
How are you
Good,
doing today?
good. Great.
Fantastic. Now, how in the heck did you get connected with Grant Cardone?
The real estate industry, people are saying, oh, it's changed a lot this year, especially after the tax bill is in April, and my business changed a lot. So I was going through my emails, and then I saw Grant Cardone's email. I saw his stuff in my email, in my inbox before.
Maybe 1 or 2 emails, or like a million.
A million a day.
Yeah.
So I pretty much usually I just delete them. So I make space for my inbox to come in. But at this time, I'm like, yes, my business had changed a lot. Not only me, but also my clients.
Yeah.
So the buyers that I worked with before, even they pre-qualify or whatever, now they're not be able to purchase. A lot of them, they're like, oh, my business gone down. There's a lot change in my business right now. I will put, purchasing a home on hold. I'm like, what's going on? So that's how I found Grant Cardone message in my email. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this guy a try. I went to the conference. And then, from there, of course, his people was getting me into the 10X lady.
Oh, man. His people are out of control, man. They're like, do you want to sign up now? Sign now.
And you're not only one people. I have a pretty much like 10 people, always like call and text. And, and James from his office is awesome. Yeah, he's like, you got to go to this 10X lady. I'm like, what is it? What is 10X lady? Because you're lady or whatever it is. I forgot his message, but it was so funny. I'm like, okay, I'll try this 10X lady. And then at the 10X lady, I think that's how I met you. Because you guys had, Lisa was on stage with Elena Cardone. And they had a QR code where you can scan it and join the team of real estate. And I think that's, I think that lead to the podcast today.
That's crazy, huh? So now, where are you from?
I'm from Vietnam originally. And then I came here for school.
Okay. When did you come to the United States?
About 2008. I think beginning of 2008, the end of 2007.
Okay.
So roughly about 17 years.
Any brothers and sisters?
Yes. So they both came here. The whole family came here. But now they're all in Vietnam. They're back to Vietnam.
They went back home?
Yes, because all the changing in business and job. So my brother, he's in his computer science.
Okay.
And then my sister, she's also a business owner. So and then my family right now, I think that it's global change.
Yes.
Right. So people are moving around. So my family doesn't feel like maybe it's time to return home and do something. And that's one of the reasons I want to expand. When I hear the message of Lisa on stage or Elena, is like we're making a movement in real estate. That's called me to hit the phone and scan the QR code because I'm thinking I may want to build a team in Vietnam.
I love that, man.
I want to come back and forth in my family, but at the same time, I want to be able to do business when.
And one thing about the global economy right now with real estate shifting and everything else, it is definitely a change with tariffs and everything going on. But ultimately, I think that it's pretty cool that you got into the real estate industry. What made you pick that specific industry? What made you say, you know what? I am going to become the top producing realtor in San Diego. How'd you get into that?
Okay, so it's really funny. When I first came here for school, I was working at a small pharmacy. A local pharmacy here, try to, earn money while I'm in college, right? To make money to pay for, my college tuition fee. And then there was a room upstairs. So the owner, she owned the whole building. And then all the doctors are her sons and daughter, her sons. And then her daughter came back from med school. And there was a room upstairs. They just use it only to store books. I was up there so many times. I'm like, dust everywhere. Why they use this room for? And I didn't know that my real estate personality was back in that day. But I'm grew up in a a real estate family. My parents are real estate investor. My dad used to take me to lands and show me dust and say, "Oh, this piece of land is so valuable." I'm like, "These are dust, Dad." I don't understand why they're so valuable. Oh, look at this location. It's near the water. So so that's why they have buildings and real estate in Vietnam. They're real estate investor. I think that's how I grew up. I didn't know that it was in my blood or my my family. But so I went when I was intern there. I said, "Oh, why don't you use this room to make it become another doctor office for your daughter when she graduated?" And then that's when I started. And then when my family came, I sponsored them come from Vietnam. They came, and then I was the one who bought their first house. I got my real estate license, and I bought the first house. And then after that, I was done. I was just, because I was looking for a job after graduating. So I was working for Wells Fargo. So I had to put my real estate license on hold because it conflict of interest. You cannot take the clients from the bank. They don't want you to take clients from the bank and go out and do it on your own. So I had to put my license on hold. I hang it with a broker, but I didn't practice.
You couldn't sell, yeah.
Yeah, until COVID hit. COVID hit, the interest rate dropped to 2.85.
Yep, I remember that.
And then I was selling things online while you're working at the bank. Had my first baby. It's like a first baby, yeah. And one of the brokers in Vietnamese community, she was pretty much my first mentor, I guess. Said, "Okay, come out. Work with us. Interest rate so low. You can, instead of doing the mortgage side at the bank, you can do it here." And of course, I made more because I did a lot of refinance.
Okay, doing refinances.
And then, they also do real estate. So I saw how the real estate business or how real estate side, and, I help her as well. So I'm the one who, I take on responsibility. I do the loan, I do the real estate. I don't wait for people to tell me, that I have to
what to do.
It's all like, okay, let me help you because you guys have too much volume, right? So I'm going to take on these tasks. And I got really good at it too. So, I started going on social media and say what I do every day. I refinance for these people. They save $500 per month, $800 per month. And then people started contacting me. And then, I also took them out. Yeah, for real estate. Of course, at that time when you had a listing.
Crazy.
It's like I had 30, 40 offers and I had people line up at my listing. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Like people wrap around the block. I think some people even gone on social media talking about my listing.
Yep.
Like people get in line. It was crazy. But at that time, I also got stuck. I like, I don't feel there's system in place. I was looking for a system. I pretty much learned from my broker's friends. I was like, how can I do this? How can I do this? So I had to grab her from somewhere to ask her questions. And she was having her third baby or something. And, she was busy too.
Yes.
I was like, I had to keep bugging her. I was like, I need to learn a system. So I went online, found some real estate training programs, and then I started with some of them, went to conferences, and then I met my second broker. Was my second mentor, Rudy Kusuma.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was also number one in California with volume and things like that in 500. And we got really good training as well. So, things just keep coming one after another. And then I went to another conference. I just keep learning, you have to invest in yourself, right?
That's good advice, though. If you notice that on one thing that she said is she started one place, she grew out of that place, went to another place, utilized those tools, and then now ultimately the most important thing is having systems. And I think that's one thing that agents lack that I've seen is that they don't create a foundation first. And then me, I'm like you. Hey, tell me step A to Z. What is it that I have to do? Now I want to back up and I want to highlight on that first sale that you made. Do you remember it? The very first transaction that you did? A little bit. Now, the reason why I wanted to ask you that is because was it scary doing that first transaction, or was it like, okay, I got it done? Because I'll tell you about my first transaction so you can think about it.
Okay.
My first transaction that I did, it was like, I didn't know how to open up I was going to the wrong address, the paperwork, I'm nervous, I'm sweating, trying to get the lockbox open, I'm pushing the thing in. But then once I got it to closing, I kind of got that confidence. When did you know Like, how many sales do you believe that you had to do to actually start knowing that, hey, this is something that I could do full time?
I mean, until of course you can replace your bank income, right? I mean,
Yes.
I replaced way better than that, double, triple that income when I got out of the bank. Um, so I kind of, at first I take leads from my broker as well when they was too busy at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I did some refinance, and I felt like, oh, I don't have to just take in my broker's lead. I just went on social media. I mean, at that time was Facebook. I used Facebook mainly. I went on there. I talk about, oh, I save people money here, and then my friends started contacting me,
Mm-hmm.
and then so you got those first people, and sometimes you feel, you still have questions, so you go back, you ask questions, and then you continue, and then you close. My first closing, let me remember. I mean, with real estate or with loan, because I started with loan side.
Yes. And you know what? That right there is, let me ask you a better question. What do you believe? Do you think learning the loan side made it easier for you to become a realtor?
Yes, because so at Wells Fargo I was a mortgage closer, so I check all the paperwork. I make sure the file is gonna be closed.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure we have all accurate information before closing. So when I got out, I actually did more on the sell side. It was so funny. It's more on the sell side, and I'm like, oh, I got from the beginning to the end of a file. It's not like the end of the file.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the picture of what clients going through,
What a system looks like.
what a system look like. Yeah.
Right.
So and then when I understand the loan side, I'm like, oh my god, what this loan 2.85 something. You better get a house. It's better for you to pay the mortgage than paying a rent.
Yes.
Like, it makes more sense.
It makes more sense.
It's like pretty much free money, almost free money. So I got a lot of. At first, I also get the lead from my broker as well. I took a lot of people go on showings, houses, and then people like me. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Some people questions me because I look young. They're, oh, you are young and inexperienced. But that's how you have the team for. So at us we have a team as well. So when we bring in people, they know that they have us, in the back. Right?
That's a very good point, guys. If you notice that, like, working solo is cool, but working with a team is going to be better because, there is this misconception that people that look young, I look young too, even though I have blonde in my beard. Okay, it's blonde, by the way. I was born with it. But ultimately, I think, I love that you said team because I think that's essential. And then also, I didn't know that you started in the mortgage industry because that makes you a double threat.
Yes.
Because being able to explain those numbers to people makes people a lot more comfortable. And guys, listen, I would probably say around 95% of the realtors that are out here that have a license, they don't know the loan portion. They don't know interest rates. They don't know the paperwork. So that's pretty cool. Now, I know that you said you started on Facebook, but how did you start? What do you believe that the number one thing that you did to kind of start dominating the Vietnamese market in San Diego? Is it just content, or is there what you're saying in your content? What do you think?
So I think at first I also spoke English because I was trained in English, right? So on my content, I also did English portions of what I should share. But then Vietnamese people still, of course I have accent. So I think Vietnamese people still can tell that I can speak Vietnamese. So even I spoke English, for those first funny contents, like, oh, I pretty much just read them out from the script of what I got trained, right? So you have, a home for people who divorced, moving up, moving down, or all these scenarios that I got trained. And I think that training is so powerful. Before, I think, you just kind of learn case by case. But when you have the knowledge first, it's so powerful that when you kind of know what to do, when you see the situation, you know what to do right away. So, yeah. So I, what was your question again, Tony? Because I personality, so I kind of tend to forget.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I was basically asking you, so you kind of gave me the answer, which is, learning the loan portion and then getting the training case by case scenario to be able to advertise towards different clients in the Vietnamese
Oh
community?
yeah, so I started to speak in I was speaking English. However, my friends of course they knew I could speak Vietnamese. So I
Mm-hmm.
explained all these things in Vietnamese when I meet you face to face, and then after that, all my clients are Vietnamese, one refer another. So, and then after that, I'm like, okay, so and I'm just gonna speak Vietnamese, right? So my Vietnamese client grew from there. Um, a lot of them was from friends and families first, and
Mm-hmm.
then of course, when we have more testimonial of what we can do, all these closing. So of course, we have more clients that are not friends and families.
That's fantastic advice, guys, because this is
Yeah.
very important as well. So if you notice that what she was talking about, she was essentially saying that her niching down on the Vietnamese community and then catering to their needs, them becoming comfortable with that culture was able to bring in more referral based business. Hello, I hope y'all got that right. Sometimes it's about niching down and helping people. Like our niche is the veteran community, but as you can see, we're diversifying, right? So don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Now, here's another question: how in the heck do you do work-life balance? How old are your kids and what's their names?
Oh, hold on. Before we go to that questions, let me tell you. Some Vietnamese people, when I first started, it was so funny. So when they go see a house, they do not go by themselves. They go with a family.
Family, yeah.
They go with cousin, friends, family,
Yeah.
grandma, grandpa,
Yeah.
cousin, all of them. And then you get all of them at referrals. It's like, and sometimes before when my broker was so busy, so she would have some of these like lower price, or she cannot just handle all the leads. So
Mm-hmm.
I took these people out, showing them, and then from some of these low lead, you don't know, but they assist for other probably more high profile clients.
Yes.
So they would refer me. So those like upper 2 million, 3 million home purchase, and then after that, when you have these closing, you can talk to people in this range of this
Yes.
price range.
That's very good.
So
I love that too, because if you notice that, my key takeaway from that is that it doesn't matter if it's a $200,000 pre-qualification or a 2 million, that customer service should be the same. I love that.
yeah.
Okay, so
So
now work-life balance. How do you?
work life balance.
How old are your kids?
Okay. Sometimes you just don't balance it. For when you're so busy, I go all in with the work. I want to make sure maybe my kid is taken care of. Probably my husband had to drop them off at school, and then I do my work. Or when the work is not as intense, you have
Mm-hmm.
more time, so you go pick them up, spend more time with them, teach them homework. If you had to go to the gym, I had to make sure I ask these gyms like, you take kids. So some gym, if they take it, I bring kids to the gym with me. If they don't, I have them stay home, of course watching on their iPad, but not ideal. But yeah, there's no balance. I don't feel like I balance, but I just go with the priority, go with the common sense of what you should prioritize. If the file that you have with your clients contingency is up, or things like that is more urgent,
Mm-hmm.
you will refocus.
And how old are your kids?
One is 2 and one is 6.
So you got two little chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're busy. And then at home, clients call, they will be yelling, they will be in the back talking. But if your clients really know you, they don't mind. But maybe someone new, I probably had to run to the office, or will go into the room, shut the door,
It's
and
funny.
talk to them, and do it on my laptop. Yeah.
It's funny because my son and my daughter, anytime I'm doing any type of real estate stuff, I'm hearing, running around making noise.
Uh-huh.
But one thing that I want to tell you guys is that if they're not willing to do business with me because I have children,
Uh-huh.
then they don't want to do business with me, right? We're
Right.
human, right? So I like that you say that you kind of balance things out and being flexible. But guess what, guys? If you want to be a top producer, this is what it takes, right? It is a sacrifice, but the advice that I would give anyone getting into this industry to be at the top, it's gonna require for you to do a lot of things. So a couple of takeaways that I heard that you said. Number one is systems.
It's system.
Systems, okay?
You have to train.
Want to make sure you got that training and systems.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is focusing on the people, making sure they feel comfortable. And then number three, diversify yourself in regard to learning the mortgage and the real estate portion. Is there anything that you want to add to that?
I mean, my kids go on appointments with me as well.
I love it.
I mean, the older one probably easier. The first one I try. I mean, the second one, when she was a couple months, I took her. She went in the stroller. I went to appointment. It was a disaster. So don't
Kid
take your
falling out of
little,
it.
don't take your little one. If they still need to diaper change, milk, probably you should leave them somewhere. So I will have now. Sometimes I have my clients actually babysit my kid. I will have people that I did close the transaction with. I'm like, can I drop up my kid at your house for a few hours or something like that? Or I drop my kid at your restaurant so you can feed them. And then I'll go pick them up. And they're like, okay, send your kid over anytime. So you just have to, at the end of the day, it's people business. Just like you say, people above anything. So I build these strong relationships with my clients where sometimes they just babysit my girls, but they feel happy because also when my girls see that I'm working, they understand. If I say, now I need to talk and you have to be silent,
They understand.
they understand. And then when I say something that, oh, I have to go on this appointment or whatever, can you go play with kid of my friends, whoever that is? They'll be like, okay, so they're smart. A lot of people treat kids like kids, and I don't like it. I like, they are, they're my daughters. They should know what I'm doing.
Little human beings, yeah.
Yeah. I even, when I go to conference, I even always ask, can I bring my kids? And if they're not allowed, like, okay, But, I try my best to involve my kids as well when I'm working so they know that I'm working.
I love that. And if anybody looks at my socials, they'll tell you I'm always filming with my kids. They're everywhere with me, my son and my daughter. And one thing that I'll tell you one time, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was younger in the real estate game, my son was young and he was trying to get my attention. And I was doing a deal. And then he said, I'm sorry for interrupting you. He was only like 7. So it made me feel so bad. Right? So if, again, guys, implement your kids into this thing. And then, I like that you say that you go out because people know my kids. Like I go to houses and stuff like that. And then my kids are thoroughly immersed in my business as well. And they own real estate right now.
They help with open house as well. My first, my older one, she can help with open house.
That's cool. And guess what you guys could do? That's a little nugget.
Yeah, she gave guests water and chips. So they're very
and they
happy.
love it.
They love it.
They love it. Clients love that. And this is another good thing about doing that, guys. Guess what? You can hire your kids as marketers and pay them $15,000 tax free. So guess what? You can put your kids in front of we're not just telling you guys about, oh, just get into real estate. We're keeping it real here. That's a really good way to avoid student loan debt for you guys that are in small business. And that's the beauty of being around people who know how to run businesses, because my kids have been advertising in my business since they were kids, on flyers, Christmas cards, everything else. And guess what? You can pay them.
Yes. Yeah. Every time I buy them toys, I make sure they work. Yeah. I like, Astrid, how do you want to earn money? A lot of people think I'm crazy, but I like, I want her to earn. So now she has a mentality. She's like, Mommy, how can I make money? I want this. How can I make money? I'm like, can you do more video for me so I can post on YouTube? But I'm like, I don't have time for that. You need to hire an assistant.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, I have a couple of more questions because I know you have to get going. What advice, if you could go back in time and you could give yourself advice about the real estate industry, what is one thing that you would tell a young Vicky to do? One thing. What one thing would you say?
Don't blow up your checks. I got a lot of nice things for myself. Okay. Yep. I upgraded my things. I bought a lot of things for myself. And I'm like, man, when I do more transactions, I'm like, these are the down payments of somebody. So, I think this is very fortunate. And I see a lot of my clients, they're super rich. Just by investing in real estate. So if I have to say what someone new, don't blow up your checks, those are your investments. But, if, sometimes you need some motivation. If, the nice thing that you get, give you motivation to go to help the next person, it's okay. But yeah, so the young Vicky, I like, and then probably do more, like 10x, 100x, whatever x that is, do more. The more people that I help, the more I feel like I want to wake up every day and do the same thing again. Even though transactions hard, dealing with other agents hard, A lot of time they pushing you, try to take your client's money, deposit, whatever that is. You can deal with all that if you put if you put your clients first. See what you can do for them,
I love
because
that. Yeah.
sometimes they cannot. They don't. They may know what they want. They may know what their goal is, but they may be confused because they not do it every day. They may buy one or two here and there, or sell one or two here and there. And then for agents, I would say start on the team, trains before you even do it. That's how when you see the situation, some people I see that if they don't have anything to do, some agents they just sit there waiting for the next transaction, and then they rush me to get the paycheck. But I feel like you want to do training and you want to do other things, so you don't focus on that paycheck, or so you can focus on helping more people, doing more things.
That's great. That is really good advice. Now, Vicky, extraordinaire, okay? San Diego alumni, okay? Where do you see yourself growing in the business? I know that you want to start a team, and if you guys can't see, she's only been here for like a day. She's already has a potential agent, right? So what's the future goal?
What the future goal? Just like I say right now, I want to expand teams, because it's so much that you can do by yourself, and eventually you get exhausted. When I have to, you will miss things here and there. When you grow in client base, I saw how my last broker, she got exhausted. Of course, I got those leads and work on it, because there's only so much thing that you can do by yourself. Even with your admin team. And then, when you don't have people to train other people to do what you can do, sometimes you don't feel excited anymore to do your job, right? You want to bring in new people, see they struggle like how you was before and where you're heading. So I feel like I want to train more people, build in my team here, and eventually, just like I said from the beginning, I want to expand to Vietnam. I think Vietnam have a really a big ship. I think even President Donald Trump invested in Vietnam. I think Trump organization invested 1.5 billion for golf course or real estate in Vietnam. So I think Vietnam market is blooming as well. When I come back to my hometown to visit every time, I feel
it's growing.
It's growing. I feel things different. I don't know to where to get to what I used to get to anymore. So I mean, I think it's the global connection nowadays with all countries. So when ESP say, or when Elena Cardona, people on the stage say, oh, we're gonna expand globally. That's when I got hit. I'm like, okay, we can expand this globally. I don't know if it's real estate or with anything else, but I like that vision that you think bigger. You don't just stuck in where transaction day by day. So you have more motivation. And then we have kids. I have kids. I want to be able to in the future building something for them. So, and of course, we don't want them to forget. They have fun when they come to Vietnam to visit in summer. See grandparents and relatives. So we're like, oh, it's a great experience. So we'll bring America to Vietnam, bring Vietnam to America. Whatever that is, we're gonna make global change. Global movement.
I love that. Now, if you guys if you're looking, she's also getting into the military market. To diversify, guys. So if you're interested in connecting with us, we have a lot of good stuff coming up. And if you're live right now, we have a free VA loan masterclass tomorrow taking place at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think we're at 1,500 people that's registered for that right now. 1,500 people registered for that event, guys. So, and this is what I want to say in closing, right? International connection. When you own property outside of the United States, you pay less taxes. Okay.
No tax. I don't know. Yeah, very little tax.
Yeah. So California likes to take all of your coin. So if you're trying to lower that taxable income, you might want to invest in states that have lower taxes. What is the best way to reach you?
My phone number. I'm more active with phone number. 858-888-1800, or you can DM me on Facebook. Or just hit the call button on Facebook or whatever, however that you can connect with me, like by phone.
Connect anywhere. And then this has been a phenomenal podcast. I appreciate you for coming on. And guys, if you guys want to connect with me, TonyGlennII.com, 2 N's, 2 I's. I'm not Italian, but Tony Glenn, II, TonyGlennii.com. Or if you want to register for any of our classes, text WIN, WIN to 760-573-2731 to get registered for our next class. Again, that's WIN, WIN, not WHEN. Okay, but WIN, like winner, WIN at 760-573-2731. And guys, we're coming to Vietnam near you. I'm excited about Vicky growing that international connection, and then also building out that veteran community that want to bring your family over. Thank you for coming.
Yes. So just like you see, I can speak English as well besides Vietnamese.
Well, tell them in Vietnamese. Hit it. Let's go. Tell them something. Give us a message.
In Vietnamese?
Yes, let's do it.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to say, I'm the best realtor for Vietnamese buyers and sellers in San Diego.
Tôi là agent tốt nhất cho thị trường bất động sản ở San Diego.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Right. Sounds good, man. Well, thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Peace.